Okay, now the session is now being recorded, and if you're watching this recording, you're welcome to the Mindshift webinar series 8.0. And today we are discussing the topic consistency. Consistency, the hidden currency of success. And to introduce our speaker for today, our very home convener of the Mindshift initiative, Assistant Pastor Oluwaseun Banja, a corporate communication expert and trainer. Oluwaseun Banja is a strategic communication expert and public relations consultant with over a decade of progressive experience in corporate communications, brand management, crisis communication, media relations, and digital strategy. He is widely regarded for his ability to design and execute high-impact communication frameworks that elevate brand visibility, strengthen stakeholder confidence, and deliver measurable engagement outcomes. I'm sure we are already giving out all the confettis, the emojis, the reaction. These are things that cannot be achieved in just 1 year. This has been achieved over a decade. He currently serves as head of the digital communication unit at the Center for Information, Press and Public Relations at Lagos State University, where he leads a team of communications professionals and managers, strategic campaigns. Under his leadership, the university's digital platform have grown to hundreds of thousands followers, achieving one of the highest engagement rates among Nigerian universities. I'm not seeing the confettis. I'm expecting a lot of that today. I'm expecting a lot of that. It's not easy, building a community online for a university. It's not fashion, it's not entertainment, but it's an educational body. He has played a pivotal role in institutional messaging, crisis communication management, and content development across traditional and digital media. For 5 years, he also served as media assistant to the Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University, providing high-level communication advisory and strategic media support. He is an award-winning professional. He is a member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, and the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, that's APCON. As a sought-after trainer in corporate communications, public relations, and customer relations, Oluwaseun has trained thousands of young professionals. He is the convener of Mindshift Initiative and author of the Effective Church Usher, a guide to serving with purpose in the ushering department. He is passionate about using communication as a transformative tool for influence, growth, and societal impact. Oluwaseun is married with children and serves as a minister at Christ Witnesses Evangelical Mission International. Can I have the confettis? Let's have the confettis. Let's celebrate our convener. Just quickly, just a minute. I know the convener is very ready to kick off, but just before I hand over to him, I just want to quickly launch a poll. This is going to really help us really give our conversation today a direction. And this poll is anonymous. You don't have it to reveal your name. So be very honest. And this is going to really help the facilitator also to direct this conversation based on the ratings that we have today. So I'm launching the poll right about now. Yes, it's up. So just respond honestly. And just one question. Which best describe your consistency pattern? Are you the person that starts strong but struggle to maintain momentum? Or are you consistent for a while, then life just happens? Life happens. The goal changed and something just takes you off track. Or you're the person that will try, but you are not sure what consistency will look like. Or you are disciplined and consistent most of the time. Okay, I can see some people are so disciplined and consistent most of the time. I wish I can know these people. I just take you off the platform. Maybe you don't need this session. But I know you want to know more. Okay. I see somebody who said, start strong. Okay. Let's keep it coming. I have just 1 minute for this. Just 1 minute. I've gotten 2 votes so far. One very consistent, one needs usually start strong, and then you need momentum. Yes, save the word energy. I can see your hand is up. Can you mind putting in the chats? Okay, I can see more comments now coming in. Great. More responses to the poll. I'm sure we can also see the results. The result is visible to everyone. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Just a few more seconds. In case you're not seeing the poll, just on the right hand side, you will see the 6 or 9 dots. Just click on that, and then you should be able to see the poll. I can see 6 responses so far. Okay, good. And I'll be handling the poll in the next 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Let's keep it coming. Okay, 9 responses. Good. Okay, and I'm about to hand the poll right about now. All right. Thank you so much for your responses. I can see that few of us need some nudge to actually keep us consistent with our goals. Thank you so much. And join me as I hand over to facilitator, our speaker for today, the convener of the Mindshift Initiative, Assistant Pastor Oluwaseun Ogbanja. Over to you, sir. Good to have you on the call.
All right. Thank you. I hope I'm audible.
Very audible.
Awesome. Right. Thank you very much, Ebonluwa Gidono. If consistency defines someone, I think that would be you. For those of us who have been very consistent following my shifts on a monthly basis, you will agree with me that Mr. Ebonluwa Gidono is our most consistent moderator, right? And I think you've been doing an awesome job. If you're online, please give me a virtual clap. Excellent moderator, almost on a monthly basis. And, I think one thing that this program has taught me is that you'll be doing a lot of injustice and you'll be unfair to God if you think that God has given you a vision and you cannot start because you think the vision is too big or it's bigger than you. And why I say that you'll be doing a lot of injustice or you'll be unfair to God is that when God gives you a vision that seems bigger than you always provide people that help you drive that vision. You may not know it until you reach out, but sometimes that is why we need to reach out. And when the vision came, one of the very first people that called this vision with me, and we have been driving it ever since together, is my co-convener Ebonluwa Gidono, and so I think it deserves to be celebrated. Please send in your virtual claps. Thank you. And I think another person that needs to be celebrated is another co-convener, Mrs. Inyade Ogungemite. I don't know if she's currently online, but she was our speaker for last month. She spoke about developing the winning mindset. And I tell you, I was very, impacted by that delivery. And today I'm hoping that I can do half as much as she did last month. So I've said that it's consistent, of course. And if you're looking at me and look at me, feel me very well. I'm wearing a Man City jersey. So somebody might be asking, why is the convener wearing a jersey? Well, Man City is not playing today. So see, this is Etihad. It's an original jersey, by the way. All right. So if you are looking at me and saying, why is the convener wearing a Man City jersey? Because when it comes to consistency, this club, Man City, is an example of consistency as far as sports is concerned. I know Arsenal fans will not be happy because sports is not online, right? So if you are talking about a club that has been consistent, that aligns perfectly with the topic we are discussing today, it is Manchester City winning the EPL back to back, and they're about doing it again. So I thought that what can I use to practicalize consistency, firsthand, and what came to mind is Man City, right? So if you are not following Man City, better go and do. Anyways, Arsenal fans, sorry, that's by the way. Now, permit me to share my screen so that we can quickly go to the discussion for today. So once again, welcome. This is February 2026, and it is going to be the second edition of our Mindshift our webinar for this year. Right. So consistency, the hidden currency of success. That's what we're looking at. And if you are an academic, like me, you want to look at that topic and say, okay, what are we really talking about today? Consistency, keywords there. Let me do a bit of academics. Keywords there, consistency, keyword. Currency, keyword, success. So you know what success is. Success is whatever you say it is. It is whatever you define it to be. I mean, it is relative, of course. And so for everybody, I mean, each person has his own definition of what success is. It could be for you setting a goal and achieving it. It could be for you making money. It could be for you getting a degree. It could be for you getting married, right? So success is whatever you have set for yourself, being able to achieve that thing that you set for yourself. I mean, ultimately, you all agree that that is success. Now, you know what currency is, of course, also. Currency is money, right? What we use to purchase something. So in this sense, you are talking about that capital, that facility that you use to purchase success, what you use to buy success. And of course, I mean, we talk about consistency. Now, this presupposes that success is a term that comes about as a result of certain factors, certain currencies, certain things come together to make up what we call success. You can look at it and say, for you, what brings about success is determination. Some people might say, for me, what brings about success is hard work. Some people might say success for me is achieved when I have a goal and I have a vision and I'm also able to run after that goal and vision. Right. All these are components, these are fundamentals of success. However, there is a fundamental that, I mean, we hardly talk about. There is a key, there is a currency that helps us to succeed. And I'm saying this because I'm taking it for granted that everybody wants to succeed. By virtue of you being in this meeting tonight, it means that you desire certain things, certain expectations are there for you. It means that you want to attain certain goals in life. It means that there are certain things you're looking for to achieving. It means that you see certain people up there and you see yourself and say that I can also be here. It means that you see yourself and say that I can attain these ideals, these goals, right? So I'm saying that because I want to assume that that is the mindset for everybody. Now, how do you get there? How do you get there? Yes, you can talk about the hard work. You can talk about the sleepless nights. You can talk about everything you do to achieve your success. But a particular key that people hardly talk about is consistency. And I felt that for many of us, especially for those of us who are young, we need to have an understanding of what is required for us to actually succeed. The world has defined success in many ways, but there are certain things that must be present for you to actually be who you want to be. Certain things must exist for you to actually become what you have to be, regardless of whatever goal it is that you're pursuing. And so tonight, we're just going to be speaking for the next few minutes about the component of success, which is consistency. And I believe that this is something that cuts across the younger ones to the older ones. Everybody needs to have an understanding of this for us to be able to achieve whatever it is that we've set for ourselves to achieve. Now, let's look at it this way. Let's start this way. I want you to think of a time when you have started something so enthusiastically, but stopped soon afterwards. So, as I speak, I want you to think. Now, we are in a classroom. So, please, I want you to be clear. All right, whatever you're doing. Now, think back. What have you started? It could be recently. It could be months back. It could be many years back. What have you started, sometime back? And you started so enthusiastically. You were so motivated when you started. You were so excited when you started. You thought that, once I can achieve this, then I've arrived. You looked forward to it. It drove you. You were so passionate about it. Think about it. And maybe after a while of starting that thing, you so stopped. For whatever reason, the reason for you stopping is not what I'm concerned with right now. My concern is that at some point you started something. It could be business for a lot of people. How many businesses have you started and stopped halfway? How many ideas have you conceived, have you brought to life? And you started well, you started so eagerly, but somewhere along the line, you lost motivation and you stopped. If you can remember, just write it down. It's very practical. Or for you, it's a case that I remember last month when our speaker was talking about that she started gymming, going to gym. At some point, she stopped. What could that be you? Is it possible that maybe sometime back you wanted to really get into shape? You thought that, oh, you're out of shape and you had to cut down, you started gymming, maybe doing exercises in your house, or you actually went to a proper gym. And then 1, 2, 3 days after, the body start telling you, start feeling pains in your joint and your body, and then you decide that, oh, this thing is not for me. Something must kill a man, and you decide to stop. Is that you? Or could it be possible that you are someone who started reading a book, right? Sometime back, when you bought that book, you're so excited that this book, I'm going to read it, I'm going to finish it. But somewhere along the line, after reading a few chapters, you stopped. You just did not go back to it again. Well, I am guilty of this. I have several books in my archive that I started reading. Of course, I've finished some. Several books in my archive that I started reading, but are yet to be finished. Is that you? Or are you the person who started writing a book? Maybe you have always wanted to write a book, and then you started, but somewhere along the line, you just lost the motivation to continue. Or is it everyday thing like someone who started driving? I know someone who started driving, and because the person experienced 1 or 2 meters and challenged here and then the person stopped. Or it is you that said that, oh, I want to quit a particular habit. I don't want to do this thing again. I don't want to maybe drink again or smoke again or do whatever again. But somewhere along the line, you just feel that, oh, this is not for me. Something must kill a man. Let me just continue. So I asked, what happened? Those things you started so enthusiastically. What happened? Interestingly, there are some things that we do every day. Things as simple as saying, using a drug. I'm also guilty of this. When you have malaria and you start using, there's a dosage for it, and sometimes you just stop because you feel fine, and then you say, the don't need to continue. That's right. So I can go on and on and on. Virtually everybody here on this meeting has started something. You started well, you started so happily, but you stopped halfway. Like they say in Yoruba, starting don't need to be finishing. Are you that person who has started but does not have finishing? Now, before you think so far, because you might be thinking, no, I can't remember anything I started and I not finished. Let's bring it very close by to New Year resolution. So this is February. So few weeks ago, we started the New Year 2026. And everybody shouted Happy New Year. And here are some people who decided that, like they do every year, they are going to write New Year resolutions. Did you write New Year resolutions? I'm just wondering. If you did, please drop it in the chat box, whether it's a yes or a no. And then if you did, can you put in the chat box what was your New Year resolution? What was it that you said that you're not going to do this year? You are going to do this year, and then somehow, you just had a resolution. Can you put it in the chat box? Or if there is something that you've done, you've started, but somehow you just find yourself that you're not continuing, can you also put it in the chat box? I want us to be very real, right? I want us to be very real so that we can actually address the problem and find the solution out. Okay, so I will be interested in reading your responses. So please put in the chat box. I'll be interested in reading responses. But while you are doing that, let me just, let's move on because of our time, and then I'm going to get back there. Now, so this is the way I think it works. I've stopped writing New Year resolutions many years ago, and the reason is simple. Every time I start New Year resolution, I start well in January, but trust me, by the time it is few weeks, it's gone. It's gone. And I suspect that is also a situation for you. You that are starting New Year resolution. Where are you with your New Year resolution? Are you still on it? What has happened to it? Please be honest. Okay, let's talk. Now, you will agree with me that for a vast majority of people, and I'm not saying everybody, of course, there are a few exemptions who started New Year resolutions, and of course, they kept to it. They showed up everything. But for the vast majority, maybe 80%, 90%, we have New Year resolutions, but we just don't see them. Now, this is the way it works. If this is you, or you are the person that has started something over and over again, but you don't just have this staying power to finish it. I want you to know this. There is nothing wrong with you. Absolutely nothing. You are perfectly fine. I know you might be thinking maybe I'm village people shame me, I something is wrong with me. It is not peculiar to you, right? It is not about you alone. There are no village people doing you. It is what it is. Now, I go forth to tell you this, and this is very important for us to have an understanding of what exactly is going on. New Year resolutions are only symptomatic of our inability to stick for a long time with the new things that we start. I hope somebody is noting that. So, for the vast majority of people, we have an innate inability, and I said innate, to stick for a long time with whatever we start. It's almost natural. It almost comes with us. Now, this is the reason. The human mind, and this is scientific, you can check it out. The human mind craves novelty. Is it the way we are wired? The mind, okay, so some people might be saying that, oh, why did I show the image of the head? The mind is here, not in your chest, okay, not in your heart. It's there in your head. So the human mind craves novelty. It is the way it is designed. We want something new. We want newness. We want freshness. That's the way the human mind works. And that is why look at the child. Of course, the child is the most natural way of, who a human being is. A child will see a toy. I will be so eager to get that toy. Give that child that toy. After a few days, probably a few weeks at best, the child drops the toy and is already looking for something else. Is that correct? Of course, I have some beautiful children here in the house. And what happens is that every time we go out to maybe shop or buy things, oh, daddy want this, daddy want that, daddy want this. Okay, they will get it. And then after a while, they've lost interest. And they start telling you, oh, this thing, I don't want it again. I want something new. This is the way children are. But it does not end as being children. It is the way we are as humans. Okay, what if the new clothes that you bought? Many of us are happy to buy new clothes, right? But what happens to that clothes after a while? You are not proud to wear it. It does not shock you again, like it used to shock you back then. Or for some of us who are adults, I remember when I wanted to buy my car, I was looking at this car every day. Every time I drive past on the road, I see the car. It's almost everywhere in my eyes. And then I go the car. What happens with that? Naturally, I get tired and I want to get another one. And I suspect that it's the same for you. Okay, what about your favorite content creators? Have you noticed that oftentimes when you follow a content creator and you laugh, they make you laugh. After a while, you just discover that somebody else is appealing to you and you're not following that content creator. Is that true of us? So I want us to see a pattern here. That when we get something new, we love novelty. Novelty means newness, something new. That's the way human mind is. But after a while, we get bored of repetition. So when something happens over and over, we see it over and over, we use it over and over, we are tired of it and we want something new. And this is the same thing that applies to starting something in life. When you start, you are happy, you're excited, you're enthusiastic. This is the way we are. But after a while, you just discover that you lost interest in it. It is the way the human mind works. However, this nature, if not deliberately altered, will keep us from achieving desired outcomes and goals in life. Success often requires repetition, and I want you to underline that. Success requires repetition. There is nothing worth doing in life that comes at the snap of a finger, or that comes by wishing it, or that comes like a wish and just happens, like magic just disappears. No. When you see everything that you call successful, everything that you call worthwhile, it takes time and it demands repetition, consistent action, something you do again and again and again, right? I will go deeper into it as we go forward, right? Moving on very quickly. Now we are talking about consistency, and I've said that it's the hidden currency of success. Now, what is consistency? I want us to have the basic understanding and be on the same page when we're talking about consistency. So what's consistency? Right. It is showing up when you don't even feel like. Consistency means to show up at a time that is convenient for you. So first you have a goal. You want to achieve this. You've started. Of course, the Bible says better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. Right? So you started. Everybody starts. Have you seen anybody in this life that don't start something? Everybody starts. It does not take any magic. It does not take anything extraordinary for you to start. So everybody starts. Right? So when you start, where does consistency come in? Because you might say that, oh, I started last time, yes, and then 2 weeks later, I made an effort about it, and then next month I made an effort about it. Now listen to this. Consistency is about showing up consistently. I don't know whether that's playing on words or on, whatever. Consistency means to show up consistently, whether you feel like it or you don't even feel like it. To do it when it is convenient and when it is not convenient. It will do the work even when the results don't show. So take, for example, somebody who wants to start a business, or you started a business, you have an idea. You want to do makeup business, or you want to do furnishing business, or you want to do you are into tech and tech bros, and you want to create a sales platform, a commerce platform, whatever it is, and you've created it and you're not seeing sales. Sometimes when we start things, we don't see results. So what is consistency? It is being able to continue even when you are not seeing results. It is repeating the right actions long enough. That is consistency. What have you started? What have you done? You've started a course, and then this thing does not seem to be thrilling you like it used to be. You do not seem to be excited about it like it used to be. Consistency means that you repeat it. You go again and again and again. Do it long enough. That is consistency. It is not showing up once in a while. It is not stopping for months and then taking it up again. It is not being excited about it and then you see a distraction and you complain about certain things that, oh, somebody is not helping me. Oh, I have a vision to do this, to have the biggest, the biggest fashion business in the world or in Nigeria, and then nobody is encouraging me, or today I don't feel like because I've not gotten a shop, or I've not seen a machine. And you say, okay, I will wait till when I get a machine or when I get a shop or when somebody notices and helps me. This is not consistency. That's a recipe for failure, right? So consistency means doing it long enough. Long enough. So let's look at it this way. Consistency is like money. Every day you practice. Have you seen an athlete who is a champion and does not practice every day? Take, for instance, a Cristiano Ronaldo, and many of us can relate with Cristiano Ronaldo. Most people talk about him as somebody who shows up every single day. Every time they go, footballers like him go to the gym or go to the field, is there as before. Whether it is raining or it is sunny, whether they just finished a game or whether they finished the game yesterday, he's there. He's showing up every day. And everybody is able to say, oh, Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the best. Of course, he's not the best. He's one of the best footballers of all time. And we are all excited. We all look at our children and we say, I want my child to be like him. But we forget the fact that this is somebody who puts in the work every single day, right? So consistency is about practice. Okay, so you are able to make cake. You want to be a caterer. And then for some reason, you've done the first cake and the reviews are not too good. And they're telling you that, oh, it's not exactly nice. And then you get discouraged. And then months later, you go to a wedding and you hear that, oh, they made 70 million naira cake for birthday. And you say that, if they can make 70 million naira cake, that means there's money in this thing. Oh, let me go back to it. No. It's about practice. It's about improving. It's about learning. It's about showing up. And I'll break this down as we go along the line. Consistency is not about doing the same thing every single day, because you really need to understand this. That it's not just showing up, it's about showing up deliberately. It's not just doing it again, because sometimes you think that things are not working, what you started is not working, And this is very important for us young ones because we are trying to build in success in life. And you see people who are successful, and all that is in your head is that you want to be like them. But you don't know what it takes. You don't know the sacrifices that have been paid. You don't know the consistency, the level of work that has gone into it. And I'm telling you what goes into it now. It takes practice. You have not failed. You have not just practiced enough. You have not failed. You have just not improved enough. You've not failed. You've just not learned enough. It takes showing up. That is consistency. Right. Moving forward. It's like making deposits. So when we talk about money, we talk about putting money in a bank. That's consistency. You put money in a bank every day. You have Kulu, you are putting it, or they talk about investments. Maybe you have a bamboo investment or piggy invest or whatever, and you are putting money, and you are putting money, and you're putting money every single day. It's like making deposits. One day the compound interest show. That's the way a consistency works. So there are days you don't sleep. There are days you do the little improvement. There are days you make that little adjustment. There are days you watch that YouTube video and apply what you learned. There are days that you heard a review and you improved. There are days that they told you that you could do it better this way and you decide to do it better. There are days you created the content and somebody tell you your content is dry. And you decide, okay, if what's it called? If someone like Folagade Banks can do it like this, I can do it this way. Those are things you do regularly, consistently. At the end of the day, it's like you're putting money in an investment. The compound interest you show. And let me give you a very practical example of compounding, because that is what consistency is. Compounding. The richest man, one of the richest men in the world is Warren Buffett. I mean, he's one of the top 10 richest men in the world. And Warren Buffett is worth $150 billion. And we heard, or I read from research, that Warren Buffett started investing at the age of 9. He's one of those people that woke up to the idea of investment very early. Age 9, he started investing. And guess what? By the time Warren Buffett was 60, he had less than $1 billion in investments. But between 60 and 70, Warren Buffett has jumped to about over $80 billion. Is that not surprising? That for the first 60 years of his life, he made less than $1 billion. And within a period of 10 years, he made over 80-something billion. He did not put any extraordinary money into that period. No. Guess what happened? The same Toro Kobo that he had been investing since age 9 simply grew, simply compounded. And by the time he was 60, it was not very visible. Just like sometimes consistency is not visible. Just like consistency, you're not seeing the result. But by the time he got to that threshold of over 70, he blew. And so when some people see Warren Buffett today, they think that he's an overnight success. No, he's not an overnight success. There are people you see and you think that they are overnight success, and you measure them by yourself, and you are not seeing, there's no alignment. You are just not measuring up. It's simply because you don't understand the work that they are putting. You don't understand the years of hard work that they have put in. You see them and you just admire them, and you sometimes say that what they are selling, or they are doing something underhanded. No, it's not always like that. It is compounding. Moving forward very quickly. Now, so if you're talking about those who succeed, now let me ask the question: why do you think people fail? Why do people fail? Most people who fail don't have a motivation or resource or talent problem. That's the truth. I am sure that there are people that you know that they are as talented as you or more talented than you who did not succeed. Now, here's the truth. Everybody has a talent. There is nobody that has nothing in this life. Everybody has a talent. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has a resource. The different, it might vary for people, but everybody has something. But have you wondered why there are some people who have the talent? It's very visible. Everybody knows that this person is very talented. Everybody knows that this person is gifted. Everybody knows that this person is smart. But they just don't make anything out of their life. So guess what? People fail not because they don't have talent. Not because they don't have the resources. Not because they are not motivated. Not because they don't have ideas. That is not why people fail. What they have is discipline or consistency problem. So people fail not because they don't have what it takes, A lot of times, and happens in a whole lot of time, people fail because they are not consistent enough. And that is why it is important for you to understand that consistency is a currency. You cannot do without it. Unless you are not so, desirous of becoming anything in life. You cannot do without it. So when you see somebody fail, oh, I've tried this and it no work. 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 I don't know that whether that's you. I've tried this and it no work. I've tried this and it no work. I did this business, it no work. I sold clothes, it no work. I sold Orori, it no work. I sold the slippers, it did not work. Or I went to school. School did not enter my head. And I went to learn fashion. Fashion did not work for me. I went to teach the children. They gave me a headache every single day. And you are not making anything out of life with the whole of the ideas that God has given you, with the whole of the abilities that you have. People know that you are loaded, but you are not making anything out of life. It's not because you don't have it. It's simply because you have failed to follow through. Right? I remember when I started driving, and I'm going to make a dig at my wife. When I started driving, of course, naturally, like most drivers, your hands will not be smooth, and then you will not, be able to drive as good as you should. And every time I drove, my wife's wife, if she's sitting beside me, she will say that her heart is almost in her mouth, and like she's going to faint, right? Because my driving was very bad. And once or twice, I've been involved in minor accidents because I was not a good driver. I was just learning. I was just starting. And I remember instances when my wife will come down from the car. Maybe we are on the way. She will tell me to stop at the bus stop, that she wants to come down. Till the destination, we are not going to where you are going. She will come down. At that time, we won't have a baby. She will come down, she will carry the baby. She will say she will go and take bus and meet me where we are going. Because I want to kill her, I want to give her attention, because I don't know how to drive. So imagine that when that started, I got discouraged and said that, oh, I'm a bad driver. This driving thing is not for me. And I parked the car. Today, I pride myself as being a good driver. Or maybe I'm trying. But I would not have become what I am today. I would not have been able to drive if I did not remain consistent with that driving. If when my wife said that I suck at driving, I also assumed that I suck at driving. I'm hopeless at it. This driving thing is not for me. And I abandoned the car. Guess what would have happened? I would not be driving today. And that is the way it works for us in life. When you start something, there is every likelihood, and I'm telling you the way it is. When you start something, there is every likelihood that you will suck at it. There's every likelihood that it will not work. There's every likelihood that you will get discouraged because it's not making sense. If you quit at that point in time, you can never succeed at it. So when you look at yourself and you ask why you are not where you should be, where your mates are, maybe you have not been consistent enough. So simply put, those who fail, they don't stay in the game long enough. When you hear winners never quit and quitters never win, it's a fact of life. Nobody wins by stopping along the way. Nobody wins by losing motivation. Nobody wins by concluding prematurely that this is not for me. Let me just do something else. No, you don't win. Now, moving forward, why do people succeed? So we've talked about why people fail. What makes people succeed? And I want you to listen very well. If you like, take notes. I know that your questions and we go forward. Most successful people are not necessarily the smartest people. I've said that. The most successful people in life are not necessarily the smartest. I am sure you know somebody who is not exactly very smart, whose English is not exactly very nice, who is not exactly the most intelligent person in the room, but who somehow have become a success at what they do. I'm sure you've seen stark illiterates who are controlling millions and are employing graduates. You've seen that. You've seen people who are not as good as you. You know that when you speak, you are smarter than them, but somehow they are ahead of you in life. Right? So what makes them succeed? The smartest are not necessarily the most intelligent or the the smartest. There are those who do the following. Number one, they are the ones who stayed in the game long enough. Hello, stay in the game. The smart people are those who stay in the game long enough. They are the ones that understand that a time will come when it is not working. They remain consistent. They are the ones that know that a time will come when people will discourage you, just like somebody discouraged me. They remain consistent. They stay in the game. There are opportunities that I have today because people know me that have been there years back. They naturally trust me and they're able to give me that platform because I've been in the game long enough. Stay in the game. People who succeed are people who keep improving. So when we're talking about success, we are not consistency. We are not talking about doing the wrong things and proceeding the wrong thing and doing the wrong thing over and over again. No, we are talking about people who improve. They receive feedback. They understand the timing. They understand, that life is in season. They understand what the situation is and they improve. They get corrections. They improve. They receive reviews. They improve. They see failure as an opportunity to grow. Those are people who succeed. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They are the most resilient people. You see, I always say this about us, the VC of Lasso. As a young lady, she was not exactly the most glamorous person. Of course, intelligent, brilliant, but you may not exactly say, oh, you become this or that. But when the time came when she had to go for something, she was in it. She was consistent about it. She failed and she did it again. She failed and she did it again. She failed and she did it again. Eventually, she became what she is. Even the Bible told us, Jesus Christ told us that there is an evil judge in the Bible. That a woman, a widow, came to him and said that, help me to collect my rights from my husband's rights. Help me to collect my husband's rights. And the Bible said the wicked judge will turn her down. We don't want to listen. But this woman did not stop. Jesus Christ said that she went again and again and again. And one day the judge said that this woman will finish me with her complaint. Let me do it. Let me do it. And she did it. Those are people who succeed. Those who are resilient. If you are not resilient, you cannot succeed. No matter how gifted you are, no matter how smart you are, there are people who showed up daily. They show up. When they need them, they are there. When there's responsibility, they are there. They do it. They don't complain. It may not be easy for them, but they are there. They are there. I'm sure there are people that when there is an opportunity, you want to call them because you know that they show up. Do you show up? Right. Consistency is seeing it through. Do you see it through? Do you see it through? Do you start a course now? And I know many people who start a program in school. Maybe an online program. At the point they say, it's too stressful for me. This stress from this thing, I cannot do it. I can't just combine it with my work. I can't just combine it with this. It's too stressful for me. And they drop. But it succeeds that way. They show up again and again. They see it through. There are people who show up again and again when no one is watching. They show up. If you wait for people's validation, you can't succeed. Consistent people are those who show up when nobody is watching, when nobody is clapping for them. Of course, we love validation. We love people to clap for us, to see us and say you are doing well. But there are days when nobody is seeing you, nobody is even reckoning with you, nobody is even clapping for you. But consistent people show up, even when nobody is clapping for them. It is a consistent person is somebody who is not seeing immediate results, but they are not stopping. They are not seeing profits. You do a business, but the profit is not coming. You are selling shoes, and it seems that some people are stealing your money, and the profit is not working. You are not just seeing it. Consistent people are people who show up. They keep showing up, even when profit is not coming in. Or sometimes you don't have shishi in your pocket, but you go again. That's how to succeed. When you get rejection mails, there are people who show up again. When they get rejection mails, they apply, and they are not getting calls. They keep getting rejection mails. Nobody is giving them jobs, even though they have 2-1, even though they have first class. I've heard stories, countless, of first class people who apply 1,000 times before the breakthrough finally happens. Are you consistent? So you must understand that life is in phases and seasons, and this is very, very, very important. God made life, and the Bible said that there is time and season for everything. You must understand that there is time and season for everything. So there is time for you to plant. There is time for you to water and tend that plant to grow. At the time where you're supposed to be watching and tending the plant, if you are waiting for the plant to grow before you can assume that you succeeded, then you have failed. Maybe that's the season where you are in. A season where you are supposed to be watching and tending, when you're supposed to be weeding and putting water and putting manure, when nothing is growing, when the seed is not growing. Maybe that's the season where you are, and you assume that because there is no visible growth of a plant, then you are not succeeding. No, that's not true. Life is in phases. Moving forward. So what if it's not working? So yes, I get this question every time that okay, yes, I've been consistent. You said I should consider I'm consistent. You said I should started, I'm improving, I'm receiving feedback, I'm working on the feedback, I'm trying to be better every day. I am changing my strategies every day. I'm doing it every day. I'm showing up again and again. I'm showing up again. I'm going to that work, even though it feels tiring, even though it feels boring. I'm going to that work. Even though nobody's calling me for this particular, I'm not getting gigs. I'm still doing it. What happens when it's not working? Now, this happens. Consistency is powerful, no doubt, but it must be aligned with 4 things. The first one, that it must align with growth. It means that you must somehow see potential for growth in what you're doing. It means that there's a potential for growth. There is growth somewhere, you just know it. That this is a part you are growing. This is a part you are going. I want to become a content creator. And every day I'm growing, I'm improving. My content is better than yesterday. So if it is not working, you must understand that there has to be growth. You must see growth, no matter how little. It must be aligned with learning. You must learn. If you do things again and again, and you're not getting results, you must ask yourself that, have I learned from my failure of yesterday? So a wise man said that, a fool is that the definition of a fool is someone who do things. So you do the same thing. You do the same thing. You went to learn tailoring, you cut clothes, and you dig a cookie, you cut nonsense. You cut nonsense. Yesterday they corrected you. Day first they corrected you. Last year they corrected you. 2 years ago they corrected you, and you have not learned. And you think that, and you are saying that I just want to be consistent. You are joking, man. You're joking. So there must be learning. You must learn. There has to be feedback. So if it is not working, you must understand that, am I taking feedback? Am I taking feedback? Am I utilizing the feedback? So when I started doing MCing, I asked, how was my performance today? Even when I minister in church, I ask, how was it? You must get feedback. That is where it shows that you're growing. There must be adjustments. You must make adjustments. You must make adjustments where it is not working and you're getting feedback. Then you make adjustments. That is how to be consistent. That's how to grow. Consistency does not mean stubbornness. Many of us are stubborn. You just tell you, I've been doing it 10 years ago and nothing is working. And you don't ask yourself that maybe I'm just being stubborn. Maybe I'm just doing the wrong thing. Some people grow in error. Right? So it means staying committed while refining strategy. So if it is not working even after many years, look at these 4 things. Am I seeing growth? Am I learning? Am I taking feedback? Am I making adjustments? If you're doing all this, then it is just a matter of time. So consistency plus adaptation is also success, and that's the formula for success. If you are consistent, you are able to, and you're also able to adapt year after year. From every feedback, from every experience, you learn and you move forward. From every experience you learn, you pick the lessons and you go. If you do that over and over, definitely you succeed. There is no way. It is the way life works. It is the way life works. So if you want to succeed, calm down. Just do this thing. Right. So we must be comfortable with the knowledge that success takes a process and life is in seasons. Success takes process. Have you seen anything that is worth doing and does not take time? Whatever will last will take time. Let's embrace that understanding. Young people, embrace the reality that success will not happen overnight. You see the likes of Obi Kubana, and you think that this is a successful businessman. You see the likes of Dangote, Africa richest man, and you want to sing, Mo fẹ́ lówó bí Daddy mi o, Mo fẹ́ lówó bí Dangote. And many of us like to sing all these songs, right? I think that it will just happen overnight. It will happen in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Hello, wake up and smell the coffee. It doesn't happen overnight. Life is in seasons and processes. If the likes of Dangote, the likes of Vicky James, those fashion designers you like, the likes of Folagade Banks, those content creators you like, if they tell you what they've gone through, you understand that life takes seasons. There are times when nobody sees them. There are times when nobody's noticing. There are times when nobody's buying. There are times when nobody's commending them. But they remain at it. And that's how they succeed. So whatever will last, it take time. Imagine you want to build a bungalow. You can build the foundation of a bungalow in 1 week, right? But imagine you want to build a skyscraper. Do you know how many months, maybe even years, it takes to sink the foundation of a skyscraper? Whatever we will build and will last, whatever will last in the long run, must take time to build. It takes consistency. There's a 5-year plus rule, and the rule is that it's proving that businesses, I mean, those who survive 5 years often dominate business. So those who start something, there is a belief that it takes a period of 5 years for them to have balance. It's like you go into a business. If you start a business and you think that it will happen overnight, no. If your business is able to survive the first 5 years and you remain consistent doing that business, and I'm encouraging somebody, a young person who is doing business, and you think that your business is not really going, calm down. Are you up to 5 years? Yes, maybe not. There is a rule. It's a rule. It's universal. That if you're able to survive the first 5 years, then you are likely to succeed. But if within the next first 5 years, you get tired and you just give up, that's the end of that dream. So I'm motivating somebody and challenging somebody that all you need to do is to stay true to it, be consistent with it. It's the same thing in marriage. When you see marriages, when you see marriages that fail, oftentimes first 5 years that happens. But when couples are able to stay together, even in that 5 years, in the period when there is no money, the period maybe when the child is not coming, in the period when they are just playing about their differences and they are looking at, can I cope with this? That is when, if they're able to survive that period, the chances are that their marriage will succeed. That's the way life. So let's look at, I would have shown you a video, but my time is fast spent, so I will not show you a video. But there is this bamboo tree analogy by the Chinese that if you plant a bamboo tree, the first 6 years of planting that bamboo tree, there will be no fruit, there will be no tree, they won't see anything. Why? Because it is going down, it is growing down. A bamboo first grows down into the soil for 5 years. The 6th year, it grows 90 feet in 1 year. 90 feet. From the 6th year, immediately
Hey, can anyone still hear me? Seems we lost our convener. Okay, let's give him a few seconds. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that, please just start dropping your questions. I'm sure that is already rounding up the conversation, but please just start dropping your questions in the chat so we can take them in the next few minutes. Assistant Professor, can you hear us now? Okay, there's somebody trying to join in. Guess it's the one. Okay, let's just give him a few more minutes. But in the meantime, please keep dropping your questions. A lot have been shared so far in terms of what success requires. We talked about that it requires repetition. requires consistency. Okay, I think our computer is back.
All right, I'm back.
Yes.
So my apologies, my screen just went off. So sorry. So unfortunately, I don't have my slides anymore, but I'm just going to round up because, of course, our time is already fast spent. So the point being that when you want to succeed, it's simple. Do the right things. Go in the right direction. Find what works. Because sometimes you might ask, how do I know that this is the right path for me to go? It's okay. Just find what works for you. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? If I'm starting a business, why? What's my why? What is my goal? What is my vision in life? Where am I going in life? And if you're able to find that path where you are going, then by all means, pursue it. By all means, remain consistent with it. By all means, keep at it. And eventually, what happens is that you develop muscle memory, which means that naturally it just comes to you naturally. Have you discovered that when you start certain things, it's difficult at first, but when you do it again and again and again, it comes naturally to you? That's what happens. When you're consistent, people will trust you. You see, people trust those that have been in the game long enough. I mean, if you started yesterday, chances are somebody will look at you and say, no, he doesn't have the experience. But when they know that you've been in the game over and over, chances are they're going to trust you. That's the way it works. That's the way consistency works. Right. So I just want to round off by encouraging somebody that I don't know what you started, and somewhere along the line, you lost motivation, the energy drops, and you're just not there again. You just think that it's not working for you. Maybe it is time for you to revisit it. Maybe it is time for you to take it up again. Maybe it is time for you to start again. Maybe it is time for you to just discover that all I need to do is to remain consistent to this thing I'm doing. And at the end of the day, you should be able to say that I'm also where I want to be. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, can we just celebrate our convener? It's been a very rich conversation today. Time will not just permit us to dig deeper, but these are important points that have been shared, have been really discussed and shared so far. In the next few minutes, apologies that we're taking extra minutes. This webinar is usually just for 1 hour, but we'll just take a few more minutes to respond to some questions. And then we can just call it a day. So if you have questions, please feel free, use the chat, use the show of hand, as I do a little bit of quick recap of some of the things that we've discussed. Success requires repetition, and that is consistency in action. We talked about the various definitions of consistency, why most people fail. This is very important. Why most people fail. We may have found ourselves in this position before now, but now we discover the reason why we actually experienced that failure. So we should not repeat that. And then we also look at why people succeed, discussing several points there under why people succeed. Staying in the game, that is consistency, staying in the game, keep improving. Don't just be consistent and repeating the same routine. Keep improving, keep learning as you go through the process, keep learning. And please, very important, refuse to quit. Refuse to quit, and then always show up daily. That is part of the process of you actually succeeding. And in the pathway, trust me, there'll be challenges, there are obstacles, but they are part of the learning curve for you. So you just have to keep showing up. Consistency must also align with 4 critical things that we mentioned, with growth, learning, feedback, and adjustments. Very important. Feedback is very key. It's part of the learning curve. It helps you actually improve on areas that we actually need to improve. And we also gave up a very quick formula for success, a very quick formula, and that is consistency plus adaptation. Consistency plus adaptation. If you're able to apply this formula, trust me, you are on the path for success. All right, let's take questions. Show of hands. A few minutes. Okay, I can see a question from Adeyinka from Lashade. Hi, yes, Pastor Sean. Are you with us? Can we take the questions now?
Yes, please go ahead. I'm with you.
All right, so we have a question. How do you know when it is time to push through a challenge and when you need to rest or take a break to probably learn how to rebrand? relearn and then grow your business or skill? At what point do you really need to take a break or just rest and then try to review all of this?
All right, so very quickly, it's okay to pause, right? It's okay to breathe. When we talk about consistency, it's not about running hundreds, kilometer per hour consistent, same way. No, it's okay. That is not it. What we're saying is that just show up, no matter how little that improvement is. So, and in life, you will discover that when you see people who give 100% at intervals, they are not likely to succeed as much as those who give 10%, 5% regularly. So when you do it regularly, that's how you succeed. So there are days when you are not showing up at the 100%. There are days when you are not going gung-ho. There are days when it is as simple as saying, let me just watch the video I did yesterday and see where I need to improve. So it's okay to rest along the way. It's okay to slow down along the way. In fact, it is all part of the learning process, right? So you just must understand yourself, understand what works for you, understand your limits, right? Because when you talk about slowing down, you don't want to kill yourself too because you want to be consistent. Understand your limits. Understand your body is telling you to slow down and just relax and watch or just get feedback. So the point where you are resting, you are not necessarily not doing anything. Even the point where you have to wait for feedbacks and think through is all part of the process. Okay, so I think what you just must understand is that you pause or you slow down is not to say you are stopping completely. Just little improvements on a daily basis. That's all. I think that helps.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Michelle. We have another question here. I think this speaks more of how we can connect passion and then consistency. So the question says, how do one stay consistent about something you are not passionate about? You're not passionate about that thing and you actually want to be consistent. So how do we manage this?
But please, can you repeat that question? You froze at the point. I couldn't hear
Okay,
you.
can you hear me now? Am I
Oh, yes,
now?
please go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so we have a question that says, how do one stay consistent about something you are not passionate about? How do you stay consistent with something you are not passionate about?
Okay, so two ways. Number one, there's a high chance that if you're not passionate about it, then it is not for you. There is a high chance that if you are not, there's a saying that if something is not, if you are not interested, then it can't be interesting, right? So if you just don't love it, you'll be frustrated. So, and that is why I say that consistency does not necessarily mean doing the same thing again, going that same way. It has to be the right thing. It has to be the right line. You have to be going to the right direction, because some people are consistent in the wrong direction. Some people are going the wrong direction and they're consistent about it. And at the end of the day, they get to the end of the road and discover that they've just wasted their life. So you must understand what you are passionate about. You must understand your why, that this thing drives me. There is look at yourself and ask yourself, in 5 years, do I want to see myself here? Right. And if you're able to answer yes, then that is your part. So you must be consistent with that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And for those asking questions, please, you can just give reaction to be sure that your questions have been answered. Just give reaction button if you're satisfied with the response. We have a comment here from when you talk about the business, the 5-year rule. So somebody shared, I'm a photographer for 5 years now, but I can't still find a way. I'm a photographer for 5 years now, but I can't still find a way. What's your suggestion to this person?
Awesome. And I mean, it is because of people like you that we are having this particular topic this month. Because you understand that a lot of young people are frustrated because they think that success is supposed to happen at their whims and caprices. And if it does not happen that way, then they feel that they are failed. But what I need you to understand is that you said, yes, the rule that 5 years, you succeed. It does not mean that you must succeed at the 5th year, number one. It does not mean that you must succeed at the 6th year, number one. It simply means that the first 5 years, if you are able to remain, then you have a higher chance of succeeding. That's the first thing. Second thing, so you are not late. You are not late. That's the first thing I want you to hold on to. I want you to understand that you are fine. You are fine. As long as you believe this is your calling, as long as you are passionate about what you do, you are fine. Now, the other thing is to now ask yourself the 4 things that we mentioned. And of course, in that lecture, I mentioned when it is not working before my screen went off. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you taking feedback? Are you seeing daily improvements? Those are the questions. So why, if it's not working, why is it not working? Have you heard somebody tell you that, oh, the quality of your picture is not exactly crystal sharp? Or have you heard somebody tell you that, oh, you are supposed to be on Instagram and you're supposed to be showcasing your work and you're not showcasing your work? Maybe you're not showcasing your work enough. Maybe you are not networking with the right people enough. Maybe you are not at the right place enough. You just must ask. You must assess. You must get feedback. You must sit down and ask, why is it not happening? So if you're able to take care of why it is not happening, then chances are, over time, it will happen. So relax, calm down. And by extension, for everybody who thinks it is not working, it's okay. Calm down. Don't push yourself. Don't kill yourself. Don't give up on it and say it is not for you because it's not working now. It will work over time. So relax. I want to believe that answers the question.
All right, thank you, AP. Just a little addition. Sometimes in business, you need to really also set some goals within that 5 year. Your goal may be to just maybe have this number of market share or have achieved this within the first 5 years of the business. So it depends on what you mean by you have not been able to find your way. And just like the speaker said, there are things that also must be in between your consistency journey. All of those things are very important. So if you need further support, feel free to reach out, particularly for this person. We can also dig deeper into the feasibility and the journey within the last 5 years of your photography business. And then let's see some of those things that we can adjust. Feel free to join the WhatsApp group of the Mindshift initiative and connect with the organizing team. We can always mentor you and keep you on track on how we can look at critically some of these areas of your business that needs fine-tuning. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Final word, it's not Pastor Sheo, final word. Any final word that you want to share with the team? I think we've taken all our questions so far.
Yes, all right. Thank you very much. And to say thank you to everybody who joined. And to tell you that you should not be in a hurry to succeed. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. I mean, life is in seasons, in phases, so you must understand that. And you must understand that your time is different from the time of another person. You are unique in your way. You have your own purpose in life. God has given you your own assignment in life. So don't measure your life by the yardstick of somebody else. So, and if you understand this and know what it is that God has called you to do and why you are here, God is also able to give you the ability and everything you need to actually make it happen. Only that you need to trust God, you need to be prayerful in knowing what His will is for you, and also being able to connect with the right people. Platforms like this, it helps. So I want to go with the mindset that you are in the right path. It will work, so over time. And I pray for you that God will give you the grace and the ability to stay true to that gift and that calling He has placed in your hands, that vision that He has given to you, such that you're also able to make a success out of your life. In Jesus' name. Thank you very much for everyone who joined, everyone who I invited. Adirola from the UK, I see you. Bola Shade, I can't say everyone now, but everyone who joined, thank you. Thank you. I hope to see you next edition. I will be having probably another speaker, but please make sure to set the time to be part of it on a monthly basis. Thank you. I want to believe the co-convener will finish that up.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Esther Pastor Sheo. It's been a good conversation so far. Please, this conversation does not end here. This is just the live interaction. We have a community, the WhatsApp group community, where we have A lot of people that have been part of this journey since the beginning. Feel free to join the community. I've posted a link to the WhatsApp group in the chats. We can keep interacting, sharing resources with you that can keep you going for the next couple of weeks before we meet again in the month of March. This webinar comes up fourth Sunday in the month of March, 6 p.m., 6 p.m. Nigerian time. We'll always get reminders and we'll always block your calendar as long as you register for one of the editions. So please, we encourage you to keep telling your friends, your colleagues to be part of this journey. We have a link in the chat also. Your feedback is very important to us. Feel free to just give your feedback, click the link, and then let's see how we meeting your training and your learning needs journey so far. We also have all past webinars that we've had so far on our YouTube channel. We have the link also in the chat. Please click the link. We visit some of these learning areas, important things that have been discussed, speaking to personal brand, your mental health, how you can actually network the more for those that are in the business line, how you can build a good network for yourself, having a champion mindset. Important topics that have been discussed so far, career for those that are in the career field. Feel free to visit the YouTube channel, Mindshift Initiative, and then watch all of those recordings over and over again. Before we close the session, it's not opening, no, really. I will see what I can do. I will share that via mail. But before we close out, if you're in a good environment, turn on your camera. Let's put a face to the name, the voice that we've been hearing so far as we close out on today's edition. Feel free to turn on your camera at this point. Let's see where you're joining from. Okay, I can see Oluwa Shola Jude. I can see Kule Collins. Okay, Shineye Azubuike. Good to see you. Onome, wow, it seems your background is so dark. Adeyeka Kitade, good to see you. Folashade, good to see you. I hope you can go back to the gym and achieve that goal. All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.